Welcome to HopkinsSports.com. I'm Stu Johnson. Well, this week, Johns Hopkins football team takes on Muhlenberg as the Blue Jays put their 3-0 record on the line against one of their fiercest Centennial Conference foes. It's been a good start to the year for the Blue Jays. They began it with a win on the road against Merchant Marine Academy. They've now won 2 in a row in the Centennial Conference, and I'm joined now by Hopkins coach Jim Margraf as we get ready for what should be an exciting game. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Stu.
Well, first of all, this is a team that has got a pretty fierce history with Muhlenberg. They're an outstanding opponent, and they bring a dynamic offense to the table. What have you been telling your team in preparation for this week?
Well, Muhlenberg's an outstanding team. Certainly an opponent we know very, very well. In the last 9 years, both Hopkins and Muhlenberg have won or shared the Centennial Conference Championship. So there's a great rivalry, a healthy rivalry between the two teams. They always play great defense. Their offense has really come along the last couple of years. So really, we need a great game on both sides of the ball right now.
Muhlenberg played McDaniel last week and was able to notch 29 points in the fourth quarter, but your defense hasn't been scored on in the last 2 weeks. Talk about the importance of some of those returning guys to this defense, thinking of guys like Ryan Piatek and Tyler Brown.
Well, Ryan Piatek, Tyler Brown, Cal Sweeney, Mike Milano, we've got seniors all over the defense. So the other two guys up front, Brian Peters and Dan Keenan. So when you do have that many seniors returning, you do expect to have a good team. So far, our defense has been stellar. But as the season goes on, you're not sure if the teams you're playing early are some of the best teams in the conference, or maybe some teams that are developing. So this will be a great test for us this week.
Well, your offense has also been outstanding, and it's been highlighted by, of course, the seniors, Hewitt Tomlin and Sam Wernick, but you've also gotten good production out of some younger players. Junior wide receiver Dan Wadika has really blossomed into the outstanding receiver you always said he would be.
Dan's an outstanding player, and he was actually Mr. Football in Indiana as a high school senior. So we knew he'd be a great player for us. Last year, he worked into the system a little bit. This year's a super compliment to Sam. So that just gives Hewitt a couple more weapons out there, having Sam Wernick, Dan Wadika. We've got a young guy, Tanner Souza, who's playing very, very well right now. And Scott Kremens is really one of the unsung heroes on what he gives to our team. Certainly,
he had a great week last week. And also, while you mentioned Hewitt Tomlin, it's important to note that he could become, this season, the winningest quarterback in Centennial Conference history. Talk about his progression over the 4 years here at Johns Hopkins and what he's meant to this program.
He really is a terrific player. He's even a better person. And I think the thing that's probably most impressive about Hewitt is just his development as a leader over the 4 years. He was a good football player coming in, a very good passer. He's turned into really a great quarterback. But most importantly, he's our leader on offense right now.
Not only have the Blue Jays been proficient offensively through the air, but the running game's really stepped up too. Jonathan Rigaud, Nick Fazio, Scotty Barletta, all those have been big contributors in the Hopkins ground attack this year.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's a pleasant surprise, but we're really pleased where we are right now. We went into the season tweaking our offense a little bit, certainly the run game. Both our players are certainly committed to playing better than we did last year. Also, our coaching staff, we went out, visited a number of different Division I schools, made some minor changes to our blocking schemes, and I think it's paid dividends so far. I think Muhlenberg will be a huge test for our run game this week.
Thanks a lot, Coach, for standing by. And reminder, you can catch this game, this Hopkins-Muhlenberg contest, on HopkinsSports.com. 2 o'clock on Saturday, I'll be there with the call from Homewood Field.